Hey, our friends over at Geneva want to let you know that if for some reason you're thinking about making a change, and only if you really need to, okay, they'd be happy to have a conversation with you. You can broker, you can bank, you can work from home, you can work from the office, and they're always looking for new locations. So, talk with Geneva. Click this banner right over there. Okay, so there's this realtor. Her name is Vera Kuzmenko, and she's going to spend the next 14 years in prison for working a mortgage and real estate fraud scheme, where she had straw buyers buy homes, then rent the homes out and keep the money. The damages that she's accused of accumulating is $30 million on 30 homes. Though I'm not a mathematician, I doubt she illegally bought only 30 houses for $1 million apiece in Sacramento. But anyways.
Her co-defendant Peter Kuzmenko got 19 years, Aaron New got 11 years, and Edward Shestov got 8 years. That comes out to 52 years on $30 million, or 52 more years than anybody else in the darn Meltdown. So ask yourself, do you think that the only jail terms associated with the mortgage and real estate meltdown should be just a few people from Sacramento, California? Sacramento, a city that can't even support a professional baseball team and almost lost their basketball team? Yeah, that's Sacramento.
With respect to this case, U.S. Attorney General Ben Wagner said, "My office will continue to seek and hold accountable those who profited from such schemes." And the sentence imposed today is a significant reminder that there is a heavy price to pay for those who seek to profit through fraud. Are you freaking kidding me?
Not saying that she shouldn't pay or they shouldn't pay. It's just relative to other players and people in the mortgage industry that skated on this stuff. This is either a too extreme punishment for Vera and her gang, or B, the punishments were too soft for the big offenders. And it can't be anything else. Just saying, if you're gonna steal hundreds of millions, because if you're caught, the punishments seem to be less severe to non-existent.
Again, we only bring this up because you have a U.S. Attorney General who says this sends a message that you cannot steal, you cannot commit fraud in the mortgage industry. And yet, what have we seen over the past decade? Just saying. Oh, and you know, one more point on yesterday's show where we told you that HUD is including convicts in fair housing, meaning you can't discriminate against convicts. Now, as we said yesterday, this is a complicated problem because without housing, I gotta think reoffending goes through the roof. But here's a question.
What if that ex-con that HUD wants you to rent your investment home to was in jail for cooking meth in his last rental property? Have you seen what a meth lab will do to your house, your investment? You might as well bulldoze it.
Or what if the ex-con was growing a bunch of the pot in the house, man? Now, I gotta think, grow lights, a sick hydroponic setup, rerouting your gas and electric so your utility company can't find you, adding insulation to the attic so infrared planes can't see you, or a bitchin' security system, and multiple humidifiers would be good for your investment either. Not that we would know.
I mean, what are your thoughts when your investment home is compromised by the nature of the conviction? Should you still have to follow HUD's convict fair housing doctrine?
Or kind of like with credit reports, where past behavior is the best indicator for future activity, should you be able to decline a person based on what they did to the last house they lived in? Or is HUD right? Let us know what you guys think down below. Because if you agree with HUD, would you please send me a couple applications? I know people who want to live in your rental house immediately. Nobody we're related to directly.
Yeah, you know, for those people in Sacramento to get, you know, punched in the gut like that, hey, they deserve it. They did it,
totally.
Right? They absolutely deserve what they're getting.
Absolutely.
But it's just a shame that nobody in Wall Street even came remotely close to any of this. You know what I mean? And they were on a level that was, so much larger with respect to the fraud and the money that was made by these guys, but nothing for them.
Let me put this in perspective for you. First of all, Google how many bankers or people in the mortgage meltdown associated with it at the highest levels went to prison. You're going to be hard-pressed to find them. I found a guy with Credit Suisse, but that was over in London. Here's the deal. Most of the big players who should be implicated for this made more than $30 million. What they're accused of stealing made more than $30 million on an annual basis in order to embezzle, steal, and defraud to the tune of hundreds of millions and billions of dollars.
Right.
Something to think about.
Very interesting. Again, your thoughts down below are always appreciated. Forward, share, and subscribe in your upper right-hand corner. We'll catch you tomorrow here on the National Real Estate Post.
Bye.
Bye.